Hey folks, welcome to a Let's Play of Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions. I'm pretty excited about this playthrough. I've only beaten this game once, and that was the original PS1 version, so yeah, it should be pretty good. Let me go ahead and exit out of that. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start up a new game. I am Arslan, student of Ivalice's middle age. You are familiar with the War of the Lions, no? Well, they'll tell us about it. It was a bitter war of succession that rent the land of Ivalice in two. Here we first find mention of Delita Hiral, a hithertofore unknown young man, the hero who would draw the curtain on this dark act of our history. His is a heroism of great renown, a story familiar to all who dwell within our land. But what the eye sees is oftentimes a mere fragment of the truth. There was another young man, the youngest of House Beowulf, long famed for producing leaders of knights and men. There is no official record of the role he played in history's stage. However, according to the Durai papers, the existence of which became known to the public only this last year, they had long lain concealed in the church archives. This forgotten young man is in fact the true hero. The church maintains he was a heretic, an inciter of unrest and disturber of the peace. Which account is to be believed? Join me in my search to uncover the answer. But before we begin, might I ask you to share with me your name and the date of your birth? Yep. We'll just stick with the normal name, Ramza. Yep. And for the birth date, let's go ahead and go with my actual birthday. How do I change this? There we go. October 6th. So that would equate to the 14th of Libra. Alright. Man, I have to say I love the cinematics that they put into the PSP version of the game. I own both the PSP version and the PS1 version, but I never beat this particular version of the game. Before I go ahead and continue with the game, I'll just give a little bit of history about me. My name is Ryan. On the internet, I'm known as the Interloper. Um, I'm 24 years old, and I've been a pretty big gamer for all my life. Bit of a nerd, really. But yeah, I love these kinds of games, tactics games, RPGs. Uh, so I'm really looking forward to showing you a little bit of what I know about the game. So even if you don't have any history with Final Fantasy Tactics or tactics games in general, hopefully I can, uh, help you learn the game. And if you want to try it out for yourself, then by all means, there's so many different ways you can play this game. I highly encourage you to give it a try for yourself. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and go through the cutscene. I'm not going to try any voices because I know my impressions are pretty terrible, but I'll go ahead and read for you guys. Lady Ovelia, it is time. I'll not be much longer, Agrius. Your escort has arrived, Majesty. Please heed the good lady's words, Highness. You must hurry. Hurry the fuck up. Stop praying. Still in here, are you? It's been the better part of an hour. Gafgarian, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of a princess. I'm doing the impressions anyway, so well. Mayhap bowed heads would less offend. You would do well to waste less time on idle pleasantries. I see even the noble order of the northern sky cannot rid itself of vulgar knaves. A god captain in these rain-sodden hinterlands ought to not expect chivalry. We are in employ of the order, not of it. Our pay does not cover trite courtesies to the likes of you. Govern your tongue. I love that. That was good. Enough. Let us be on our way. Yeah, I can't do impressions, so whatever. The Father watch over you, child. And you, elder. Oh, what's going on? Milady, the enemy is upon us. Duke Cortana's men? We are paid for this. Time to earn our keep. What is it, Ramza? Are you above getting paid to do a job? I hope not if you're a sellsword. I'm a knight no longer, just another sellsword. Right then, to battle. So basically what's going on is that there's two factions that are pretty much at war with each other. Over the right of succession for to rule the land. Basically, there's one side for Duke Cortana. Duke Cortana is like, I think the uncle to the he's like an uncle in the family, and then there's the princess. Like, she's a foster kid, so she does have the right to the throne, but not through blood. So they're trying to figure out if it should be through blood or through the right of succession as a child to become king, and that's where the war comes in. I know I can't. I'm terrible at conveying what I want to say, but yeah, it's between the foster child and the uncle, basically, because the king recently died, and he had no legitimate children. Alright. Ooh, I hope the music sounds okay for you guys. They bear the crest of the Black Lion. Duke Cortana must be mad. Does he mean to start a war? Of course he does. You there, wench, you cannot hope to defeat us. You will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours. A head-on assault. These swords of Goltana. Lack wits one and all. In that case, we should be able to handle this without you, Gefgarian. Maybe you could, but there's no money to be made in that. Lad, Ramza, with me. Also, for those of you that played the PS1 version and know how bad the translation was for that game, I can really appreciate the effort they went into retranslating everything and giving everyone like that medieval twist to their language. Like, it's really nice reading these quips that everyone's giving to one another. It's great. Kill them all, leave no man standing. Like, it just sounds so authentic and medieval. I like it. You would have us slaughter them? Are you mad? Kill them here and you'll have played into Duke Goltana's hands. We need only put them to rout. I find dead men rout more easily. Good point. They're already intending to start a war. I don't think killing them or not killing them is going to change the outcome of that at this point. Alright, well, this battle, for the most part, is pretty easy because the AI controls everyone but Ramza in this fight. So, you have to work really hard to lose. So, I'll probably just do... I'll probably just go through the mechanics during this fight. Basically, every character is able to move and then act once per turn. And you can check out and see what you can do. Normally, characters can attack in melee or range depending on their weapon, or they can use one of their abilities like Focus, Rush, and Chant. So for Ramza, he's a Squire class right now. He doesn't have a whole lot I can do right now, so I'll just go ahead and focus. Yeah, increases his attack by 1, and he can keep doing that as much as he wants. And it's only for the battle. But yeah, Agrius and Gefgarian are very powerful characters, especially this early on in the game. You'll notice that some guest characters and special characters that you acquire later on for your party, they have very special abilities that normal characters, like although it's called the generic characters, can't learn. And they take the place of the generic Squire class that Ramza and a lot of other characters have as their initial class. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So yeah, this is the basic tactics game. Tiles, tile movement, abilities that affect a single tile, single character, multiple tiles, what have you. And it is turn-based. But the main draw of this game beyond that is the class, the job system. If you've played Final Fantasy 3 or 5, or Bravely Default, you're probably pretty familiar with that. But if you're not, basically you have a couple classes that you start with. Oh, he rendered his shield. You have a couple classes that you start out with, and they're generally basic classes. And as you move along, you start unlocking other more powerful classes, and you can each class has different abilities that you can assign to them. As you progress, I'm gonna go ahead and attack this guy. There we go. 49 damage, not too bad. So yeah, a big part of the game is experimenting with the different classes available to you, different abilities, like seeing what combos well together. Oh, one of our guys went down. That's surprising. Healing up his enemies, healing up their ally. They really have no chance here, though. They all have very basic classes, basic weapons, and we have two very special characters on our team with sword abilities. Yeah, they're special. They have special base classes that can use sword techniques that are unavailable to most other characters. Apparently, Gafgarian went for the White Mage as his secondary set of abilities, because every character has a main class with their main abilities, but the cool thing is they can also assign abilities from a second class to their character, even if that's not the class they initially chose. They can still use the abilities that they learned while they were in a different class with that second set. So being able to mix and match those abilities is really like a huge appeal for me in the game, and for a lot of people. Oh, and while I'm on the subject of attacking people, it's always good to hit people from their backs or from their sides, because there is a chance for you to miss your attacks because they can evade. Every enemy has a chance to evade you from the front. I think it's a 95% chance you'll hit if they don't have any armor or shields or evasion bonuses. But from the back, most things can't be evaded, and there's fewer things that you can evade from the side. So it's best to hit from the back or from the side if you can't do the back, basically. Yeah, this battle's almost over. Gotta say though, I love these abilities. Like the effects are just so cool looking. I also put in a fix on this particular version of the game to fix the slowdown issue that certain magic had in sword skills. Because before, the frame rate would just drop to like single digits, and it was just awful. Like, it made the game almost unplayable, especially later on when everyone's using crazy abilities. Gotta get a hit on this guy. Well, I'll go ahead and show off something else. So, Chant is an ability that lets Ramza sacrifice some of his HP to heal somebody else for twice that amount. So, it's not great, but it can be nice in a pinch. But I'm gonna go ahead and try Rush. It's not a great ability, but I wanted to show it off. You guaranteed to hit no matter what, but you do very little damage, and you have a chance of knocking the person back if there's not somebody in the way, like that corpse. It can be useful sometimes if you want to knock them off an edge, or you want to give yourself some room to work with. But there you go. Battle's done. Easy as that. I wasn't even paying attention, really.
This way. Be quick, and try making a little less noise.
I'll not take orders from you!
You've quite a mouth on you, princess. Forgive me. 'Tis your birth and faith that wrong you, not I.
Hold there!
Is it truly him?
It cannot be!
Delita, he lives?
Why does he fight under the banner of Duke Goltana?
It's a very good question. But who is Delita, you might ask? Well, we're about to go back in time and find out. Because as it so happens, Delita and Ramza were once pretty good friends. I'll let you go ahead and read this, because it is going at a decent pace here. Yep, so basically, there's a rebellion going on because of the conditions after a great war this Evil East just had. Because basically, you know, it's the same old story. Like, the nobles are treating the commoners like crap, and the commoners are finally fed up with it. So, likewise, Ramza and Delita were raised by the noble family, and Ramza himself is actually is part of one of the bigger noble houses, while Delita was basically not adopted, but they were taken in by the Beowulf family and became fast friends with Ramza as they grew up. So they're commoners technically, but they have some rights. They have some respect for being part of the Beowulf family. And due to that, they've actually made it into the military academy as teenagers or young adults. Sounds like it's raining outside in the game. But anyways, I'll go ahead and continue with the story. Another wain was struck last night on its way to Egros. The corpse brigade again. I wonder where all this leads. Delita, what do you make of this? I'm not sure. I have my guesses, but I'm listening. I think Duke Larg is coming to Garland. Duke Larg? Why? Not just the Duke, the Marquis Elmdor de Limberry, too. That's the first I've heard of it. This has not the sound of a state visit. All of Ivalice is in turmoil. The Order's supposed to be keeping things under control, but the fact is, they number too few. And they mean to bolster their numbers with us? It seems so. Alright, everybody, form up. The Order of the Northern Sky has an assignment for its Knight's Apprentice. As I'm sure you're already aware, the number of brigands roaming Galleon is on the rise. Among them the Corpse Brigade, a seditious lot with a grudge against the crown. Rogues such as they must be dealt with, in the only way we know how. The Order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the brigade, an operation of a grand scale. We will not be acting alone. The Order will be joined by, among others, His Excellency Duke Larg's Royal Guard, stationed at Egros. This will leave Egros Castle undermanned. Your task will be to proceed there and support us from the rear by bolstering its defenses. I forgot to mention this earlier when I was talking about the foster princess. She's not really in charge of like the people that are fighting for her. She's more of a puppet for somebody else, and that'll become more apparent later on. It's a bit of a spoiler, but I figured I'd clarify that. The time to take up arms is upon you, young apprentices. I've just received word that a band of thieves routed by our knights flees here to Garland seeking refuge. We will move to stop them and finish the task of our brothers. You, young apprentices, will accompany us. This is but a squall before the storm of battle. Prepare yourselves at once. Dismissed. The slowdown. Alright. Now that I have a chance to save, and I think I've recorded quite a bit, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But next time, look forward to a battle. It'll be our first real battle too, because we'll control everybody in our party. So thank you for watching, folks. This was the Interloper, signing out.